Actually, my question to her was like, "Who's your competition?" I didn't know nothing about gymnastics, so I'm just asking her.
Nobody.
Yeah, and that's what she's like. She told me like myself. That's the most vivid memory I have of that. She was like myself. I'm like, nah, for real. Like, who do you compete with? She's like, myself. Is because most of the time it comes down to if I mess up or not. And I'm like,
there's this perception that women have. In this case, I'm talking about Black women. That you can do the least and get the most from men. You'll hear women say things like, girl, I didn't even do anything. And he paid all my bills. He took me shopping. I didn't even have to do anything. And he did all these things for me. He bought me this. He gave me money. And the reality is that if you're doing nothing and you're getting things, you're probably also getting one thing. And he's getting one thing from you. If a man wants more from you, like marriage or something like that, you are going to have to do more. That is a reality. Sorry to tell you, but and so the reason why Simone Biles was so comfortable driving 45 minutes to see who the man who is now her husband probably is because there was something that she saw, and even just the potential of what it could be. It was early, maybe on a couple days, but the possibility of what it could be based on whatever conversations they were having via message, via text, or on the phone or whatever. She took a risk. And love is a risk. And women who want real love, healthy love, take risks. And sometimes it doesn't work out. But there is something refreshing about a person who is willing to go the extra mile. And it's not about being desperate. I think people, you do what's in your comfort level. I'm sure if driving 45 minutes or messaging him first or whatever was not in her comfort level, she wouldn't have done it. But there is something refreshing to show those qualities up front. Because I think a lot of times those are the qualities that people hide. They want to pretend like they don't care about a man or they don't care about a relationship. They want to pretend like, oh, well, it's whatever. Yeah. And the reality is it's not whatever, because you really do want a man or to be married or for it to work out. You want that. But you're lying to yourself and you're lying to him. And that is why a lot of Black women are single, is because you're not honest. And Simone Biles, I don't know much about her. I do not watch, sports and things like that. I don't watch gymnastics, but just the little that I have seen of her, she seems very, she openly talked about her mental health a couple years ago. She seems very honest. And like, there's not a big shield, there's not a big wall that you have to crack when she's feeling you, And she even said in the interview, something to the effect of, I go after, I know what I want and I go for it. And the reason why this looks desperate to the untrained eye, Simone Biles looks desperate to the naked eye, is because there's only certain women who understand certain things who would even understand why she would move the way she moves. You might see someone moving in a way and you may not even understand why they're moving that way. And this is why a lot of people don't post their significant others online. They don't talk about their significant others online, is because they know that as soon as they say anything, it could be the slightest thing the internet is going to try to prove that somebody doesn't love somebody, or somebody was desperate, or, you know, whatever it is. I watched the majority of that interview with Jonathan Owens, Simone Biles' husband. And the only problematic thing he said was that comment about men being the prize. And I can't even fully say that that's problematic. I mean, I think that he doesn't seem like he has enough. He probably needs some media training in terms of how to say things, and, you know, but there was a lot of playful banter. I think people took that interview way too serious. To me, it came off like, even the guys who were doing the interviewing, it just seemed like a lot of playful banter. And if you hang around people who use a lot of playful banter, like, you kind of get it. So I don't think that, you know, it was just this outright disrespect. I do think that he probably shouldn't have said it because of the way people take things and run. But here's the reality. You cannot understand the value of anyone else until you understand your own value. I'm going to repeat that. Until you understand your own value, you cannot see the value in anyone else. The best part of the interview, in fact, there were a lot of good parts. The best part to me was when Jonathan Owens said, you know, he had asked Simone Biles, who's your competition with regard to her, you know, sports and gymnastics. And she said, me, I'm my own competition. Because if anyone messes up, or, you know, something to the effect of, you know, if she messes up, that's something she'll have to deal with. But I'm going to take that as a metaphor. I think she's right. I think Simone Biles is on point in the sense that she is her own competition. She's not competing with anybody. Simone Biles does not have a BBL. Simone Biles does not have fake boobs. Simone Biles wears her real hair. Doesn't wear long claw nails. Doesn't have crazy caked on makeup. She, you know, Simone Biles leads with herself, with her own personality. And this fact is often hard for a lot of women to accept, because there are so many women who stretch themselves and go the extra mile for the wrong stuff. You know, you won't drive 45 minutes, but you will get a surgery that could end your life. You won't shoot your shot, but you will spend hours online searching for the perfect weave or something like that. And, you know, and I'm not an advocate of necessarily shooting your shot. But what I'm saying is that, you know, there's something special about a person who doesn't really have the same guard up that a lot of people have, that's willing to just take a chance and willing to bend a little and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm Simone Biles. I'm not doing anything. I'll drive 45 minutes and just see what's up. And the biggest thing that I think people forget is that she's his wife now. We're not talking about Simone Biles, who shot her shot and drove 45 minutes and is still his girlfriend. Okay, we're not talking about Simone Biles, who shot her shot and drove 45 minutes and is his side chick. That's not what we're talking about. Simone Biles, his wife. And see, this is the part that people don't want to look at, because it's so convenient for us to rip apart something that we don't understand. But nobody forced Jonathan Owens to put a ring on her finger. Nobody forced him to do that. And he even said himself that he struggled as a young man, newer athlete. He struggled with that, understandably, but he still made the decision to do it. And I'm sure it's for good reason. And it's because somehow Simone Biles showed something, showed herself, revealed something, took a layer off that where a lot of women have all of these layers and you can't even get to what they really think or how they really feel. Simone Biles she was open. She was vulnerable, as she seems to be. It's not surprising. She openly talked about struggles with mental health. And that's another thing in this interview. Jonathan Owens, this is a great interview. He talked about going to therapy. He talked about the imposter syndrome. He talked about mental health and how he kind of, helps or deals with Simone Biles' mental health. And it seems like a very healthy couple, to be honest with you. I don't see a problem. I mean, yes, I do think that Jonathan Owens needs some media training. Okay. But let's go back to seeing your own value. Let's go back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And on that pyramid, we see self-esteem is almost at the top of the pyramid. So you have to go through, you have to get your physiological needs met, your safety needs met, love and belonging. Then you access self-esteem and confidence. And I would argue that Simone Biles, unlike a lot of Black women, because I do think a lot of Black women lack self-esteem and confidence. I do. And I think, I'm not saying every woman who gets surgery. I mean, there are women who get surgery for legitimate reasons. But a lot of women, especially the ones, during the pandemic who went and got these bodies that don't look natural, many of those women are suffering from issues with self-esteem. That's the reality. If you look at the pyramid and you think about, wow, self-esteem is like, you gotta really be at a certain level to get to have confidence and self-esteem. That is where Simone Biles is. She is above where the average woman is. That is the reality. Mentally, she's above that. This is somebody who's so sure of herself that her man can sit there and say that. And even though I'm sure, she probably was like, oh goodness, but she wasn't even tripping. Why? Because she knows her relationship. She knows what she's getting. She knows the love. She knows. That's what I'm saying. When you're secure in your own relationship and what you have, somebody could even say something stupid like that, or not even that it was stupid, but they could say something that might be a little distasteful. And you just like, because words really don't mean a whole lot. It's actions. How do you treat me? What behaviors do you exhibit? That's what I care about. You might say some things, but what are you doing? And so while everyone's talking about how desperate she is, I'm like, okay, but she's his wife. Yeah, she was so desperate that he married her. I'm going to conclude with, you cannot see value in someone else until you see value in yourself. And the reason why Jonathan Owens, Simone Biles' husband, can sit there and say, I believe men are the prize, and I think I'm the prize, in the relationship or whatever he said. And the reason why Simone Biles is unbothered is because she sees her own value. I'm sure she brings her own value into the relationship. I'm sure he communicates to her the value that she brings to the relationship. I'm sure, so even though he said that, again, stop thinking so much about what people say. What are people doing? That's what you need to be looking at. So it'd be different if he treated her like she's absolutely not the prize. I think most women understand that both people are really the prize. Both people are. And, a woman who values herself and is sure of herself can not only be higher up on that pyramid, but also she has a capacity to value others. And when he said he's the prize, it probably wasn't surprising to her because she already knows that he's a prize. And so is she. And he never said that she's not the prize. He just said that he is, or he said that he believes men are. But he didn't even go into why, because we don't even know what was behind that. There might be certain reasons why he's saying that, but he did talk about, and what I heard throughout the entire interview was the ways in which he is an emotional support to her. And they are actually an emotional support to each other. So the doing, okay, I was paying attention to what is he describing that's actually going on as far as behaviors. Yeah, he said this, but he wasn't sitting there talking about all the ways in which he demeans her throughout the relationship. No, he talked a lot about the support that she provides, the support that he provides. And it seems like a very healthy give and take. So in conclusion, the reason why Simone Biles appears to be desperate is because, to the untrained eye, she exhibits qualities, a type of self-esteem and confidence that unfortunately a lot of Black women lack. And when you are sure of yourself and you know who you are, when you don't have to lead with your accomplishments, when you can lead with you and who you actually are as a person, not what you do, not hi, I'm Simone Biles, I won all these, gold medals or whatever, but hi, I'm Simone Biles, I'm, whatever those intrinsic qualities are. When you can lead with that, people, the sisterhood is going to say that you're desperate because they're not going to understand why you're doing what you're doing. But it's not for them to understand. It's not for them to understand. And this is why most of the women complaining are probably not wives. And who knows if they will ever be. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you guys are having a good holiday. Hope you guys have a great New Year. Like, share, and subscribe, all the things. Let me know what you think about this. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Look in the description box. Everything you need to know about me is there. So I'm not going to go through my normal spiel, but look in that description box. Click those links. If you feel compelled, feel free to donate to my channel via Cash App. Buy my book. Join my membership group. Join my email list. Everything you need to know is in the description box. And as always, stay tuned for more videos.